Hello everyone. Okay. Today I thought of touching up on a little bit on ISMS, ISO 27001. Um, there are two different versions we have on that. It's 2005 and 2013. And out of these, the 2005 version, the older version, is actually a pretty robust one. And it, and that introduces, or that was so powerful that quite a lot of companies adopted to it. And later there has been some changes in the next version as well. But in both the versions, let me talk about what is common in both the versions, and it is the first five mandatory clauses. It is possible that based on the scope, you may have varied focus on the five mandatory clauses, but when you really go in for organizational or enterprise level ISO 27001 certification, it's very important to focus on these first 4 to 5 clauses, and these most of the time will give you the way the ISMS team is going to be structured. And without that, it could be possible that there could be a gap, there could be a deficiency, even though you may get a certificate. The certificate may get issued, but then still there could be some weaknesses. And beyond this, of course, the appendix does have all these standard controls, and it's quite possible and pretty easy for small businesses to evaluate against these clauses, the controls, sorry. And some of the controls are pretty standard, pretty straightforward, but tough to get across until and unless we have the asset ownership and proper way of identifying the informational assets. This is where ISO 27001 series usually deviates. It has a difference in the way we approach information security. Without the ISO 27001 series, it would most probably look like we are looking at IT security, network security, application security. It's easy to just keep looking at each one of them, but then when you really want to give the push and really align towards some higher visions and strategies, then ISO 27001 really makes a cut, and it's always useful to go through that. In terms of the budgets, well, budgeting usually depends on what we are trying to achieve, and how we are going to certify it, and how we are going to continue the certification. I would try to cover about the budget part in other videos that I may bring up. But right now, this video is just for those 5 mandatory clauses that we need to look at. And one thing that got introduced in the new version is the communication management. The way the communication management has to be set up for ISMS to work. Now that's also pretty important because without that, it's quite possible that the transformation of re-strategizing of the information security doesn't happen without that. And the communication means there will be a lot of processes which will get laid out, and those processes will have key functional points and persons to operate, and those things should usually come out well. And if those do come out well, the effectiveness of the ISO 27001 goes up, and really it goes up quite a lot. And so I would like to end the video with this: 5 mandatory clauses, identification of informational assets, and the assessment against the controls, which is in the appendix. These are way to go for good ISMS implementation. Thank you.